Hello everyone, and welcome back to Schooling Around, my very last Schooling Around segment, episode 114. Today we have someone amazing here with us, the new Schooling Around and School News host, River Tuck. We have a bunch of stories coming up as well, so stay tuned. As promised, I'm here with new School News and Schooling Around host, River Tuck.
Thanks, Alexis, for welcoming me to the job and the position. Alexis has been a fantastic mentor to me in these last couple weeks, teaching me everything that I need to know for the job, and really just teaching me the ins and outs of Oxford and the really unique community that it is. And I'd like to say it for a second, maybe third or fourth time. Thank you, Alexis, for everything that you've done for the Oxford community. She's been a fantastic host for Schooling Around and has always put forth her best foot and had the best intentions for showing all of the parents in Oxford what their children are up to in their everyday lives at school.
Absolutely. And again, I would just like to give amazing props and kudos to River here. Again, a lot of you have been here in the studio, so you know that we read from teleprompters and different things like that. I want to make it very clear that that's not this episode. We're not reading from a teleprompter, so everything that you're getting from us today is 100% raw, 100% genuine. So this is really him. This is your new School News and Schooling Around host. You won't meet a more genuine guy than him. And now going straight into our segment, or one of our segments, our very first segment for today, we're heading over to Kingsburry Country Day School for their Veterans Day. Today I'm here at Kingsburry Country Day School in the Justin Schwartz building for their Veterans Day presentation. They have breakfast, pastries, and coffee inside. We're going to head inside and listen to their Q&A coming up pretty soon. Can you tell us what you all usually put together for the Veterans event?
So we try to have like a nice little breakfast or brunch for them to thank them for all of their service and their time. We also like to have a speaker who gives a nice message to them and the children. And then we have a Q&A session where they go back to the classrooms and share experiences, and the children can thank them, on a more personal level.
And I did notice in the crowd here, you had some people, maybe the active veterans, in their attire. So how cool is that for the students? How do you think it affects the students to really see them come in all of their attire?
I think it's fabulous. That's something they don't get to see every day. It really makes it real for them. And it's great. It really is a great thing. It's an honor to have them here.
What kind of feedback do you get from the veterans?
They seem to enjoy it every year. Every year it's a little bit different. And this year we also had a student singer, which is something we did not have previously. Well, I've been doing this for 3 years, so we usually do have a music element, which is through the school, but this year was the first. We had an a cappella singer, and she was fabulous.
Absolutely fabulous. All right, well, thank you for talking to us and explaining a little bit more about what today was.
Thank you.
So that was our take of the Kingsbury Veterans Day celebration. It was really a fantastic celebration, huge crowd, lots of vets out celebrating with their family, with the children at Kingsbury. Really is a fantastic community. We got to go into some of the classrooms and see the veterans talking and doing Q&As with some of the students, and I just got to say, I was behind the camera. Fantastic people, very wholesome and genuine people who were giving a lot of great advice to the kids.
And Kingsbury wasn't the only school here in Oxford or in our surrounding areas who had Veterans Day presentations and different things like that either. That was just the one that we chose to go to.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all the veterans, even though Veterans Day was a few days ago now. But congratulations to all of you guys, and thank you. Now, going into our next segment, we headed over to Oxford High School to speak with Zach Line, Bud Riley, as well as this year's football team. Take a look. So, looking back on your high school experience, was it one thing that really stood out to you, especially contributing to your professional career?
Besides the staff at Oxford, it's the coaching, it's Bud, it's in the way he instilled a blue-collar mentality. You can't just arrive and rely on your God-given gifts. You got to show up. You got to work hard, and everything you do on the practice field in the off season, he demanded that it was the best. So by the time we got to game day, it was easy, and that's all sports here at Oxford. It was the wrestling coaches, Scott Couch, McDivitt, and it just goes down the line, and all the teachers too. They all bleed blue and gold, and expect you to do well in the classroom and on the field. So when your time comes to go to college, it was pretty easy for me to make the transition.
And before we let you wrap it up here, what is some advice that you would give to lower classmen who are in football or any sports if they're trying to make it to that pro level?
I think the competition's a lot harder nowadays just because there's so many outlets to get your film to coaches, so they're overwhelmed by it. So I think you really have to separate yourself early, and you don't want to wait till your senior year, because I feel like my senior year is when we started sending out film. That was a little late, right? So I'm not saying you want to push college the whole time you're playing. You got to have a lot of fun, but don't wait to just be like everybody on your team. You don't have to be as good as him or as good as him. You can go beyond that. There's plenty of resources and things you can be doing in the off season to increase your game, and that's not just playing football and doing football-specific activities. There's a lot of other sports you can be playing to maybe gain a new element to your game, or maybe changing your diet. I mean, there's a lot of things I would have changed because I didn't really commit to being the best football player I can be, and it's crazy to think that there's things I could have done different. But at the same time, have fun with it. Don't overwhelm yourself with too much football all year long. I think the best thing my parents did was for a month every summer they took us up north and we got away from football. So, and that was always good to get away. And I think even in the NFL, our head coach gives us a lot of the off season off, because once football season comes, it's football, and you have to dive in, and you have to be obsessed with it. Really, once football season's there, it pretty much takes over my life. And fortunately, my wife is a trooper and she rides along. But when it's a game week, I'm locked in, and pretty much when I come home, I'm watching film and doing something that applies to the game that week.
And now for seniors, this is a lot of seniors' last chance to kind of figure out what they want to do if they want to try and pursue a professional football or other athletic career. What is some advice that you have for them? It's still early in the school year, so.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get frustrated if you're not getting recruited, or it's easy to get complacent when you do have one coach coming out, but scholarships are year to year. I didn't know that going into college. Fortunately, mine was renewed every year, but a lot of guys weren't. I had played with a lot of guys that they just didn't cut it, or they'll find a reason if it's not working out. So I wouldn't get too caught up in where you're at the first year. It's just getting out there and keeping your film going and keeping your head in football, and keep perfecting your craft, because nowadays there's a transfer portal where you don't have to sit anymore. So guys can transfer colleges and play a year at a smaller college and transfer to a bigger college. So I think there's a lot more opportunities now for that, just because of the transfer portal. Because before you had to sit a year, you had to take a whole season off. But if you're not playing football, I think there's a lot of tools that they got from Coach Raleigh and Oxford that are going to take them a long way.
We asked student athletes from Oxford High what impactful advice they received from Zach Line.
It was probably about college, saying that it was a lot harder than like high school and stuff because you have to really focus in right away. And
So would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would also say just making sure we do well in school and putting our education like just as much as football.
But I also think him saying how much fun he had was big because I know some people kind of take the pressure in. Especially I did this year, not trying to have so much fun, but trying to be the best you can be, but also trying to have fun with it too. So this year I'm trying to build on having more fun this year and just kind of taking it all in.
Pretty much that you're going to have to work for everything. Like Zach Line said, God gifts will only get you so far. The hard work's going to eventually pay off, and keep working hard, and then you'll keep going places. So.
We asked student athletes how football changed throughout their high school careers.
So to speak.
When we were freshmen, kind of just hit us really fast. So this year was kind of, talking to all the upperclassmen, just getting used to things, starting to work hard in the off season. Season was going by even more. Varsity expects a lot more than freshman football does. And even the competition was a lot better than I've ever had. And I think these guys can agree. Kind of just hit us fast, and especially that Romeo game kind of hit us quick. So
I would say a big thing is mental toughness, especially around here. You got to learn how to take things either one year out the other, and you just keep on going, pushing it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mental toughness is a lot. Learning how to be coachable. Anything coach says to you that's negative, you just got to let it go in and out.
It's definitely very, very interesting. As you know, you look at like your life is just like going right past you and everything. And it's like, I remember being a freshman, coming to my first off-season workouts with Coach Raleigh, and now thinking that like it's all over. It's very weird.
Absolutely. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, this season's just really flew by, but I'm really ready for the next level.
A bunch of you have already seen the Bud Raleigh interview. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's everywhere, and it's had quite some popularity
1,000
now.
hits,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
You guys really love him, and we do too. He's been in the Oxford community for so long. How could you? He's done so much for us and for the community itself, as well as past graduates and upcoming graduates, this year's graduates.
He's really a staple of the community.
Absolutely. I heard so many people say when you think Oxford and you think football, you think Bud.
Yep,
So,
definitely.
Thank you, Bud. Thank you again. Thank you 1,000 times. Moving into the next segment,
Yes.
Green Team. Actually, you were there for Green Team as well.
Yeah, and it's fantastic what they're doing over at Green Team, and we actually heard that there's going to be a little competition, I believe, over at Daniel Axford.
Yeah.
Daniel Axford is looking to start their own Green Team, and we might
They've
get a little
started.
competition. They've already
They've
started,
already
so
started,
there you
yeah.
go. And competition's only going to be great for that. They're going to be competing to see who can collect the most plastic and get it recycled.
And let me tell you, Daniel Axford has some work to do. If they think that they're going to outbeat Clear Lake, Miss Danielle, who you're about to see shortly, she runs a phenomenal program. I won't tell you how much, so you won't have an advantage on them, but she's already raised quite a bit of recyclables. So
A mountain.
More than one. So take a look at that. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Schooling Around. I'm here at Clear Lake Elementary School for my very last segment and my very last Green Team meeting. We're waiting for everyone to arrive now and for Miss Danielle to get here. We're going to head inside. Well, we're already inside, so we're just going to wait until they get here. Be right back.
Okay, what we're going to do, guys, you're going to open your magazine up first, and you're kind of going to bend it just to kind of break that spine a little bit.
Wait, like in the middle?
Wherever, yeah, just to kind of.
Okay, let me see.
You want one?
Yes, I can show over here.
Like this?
Yep, you don't want to rip it apart though.
Don't rip it.
I need help.
Open it like halfway.
And then just kind of bend it the other way, yeah. Like how you're told never to treat a book, go ahead and treat it like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, grab a magazine.
I'm here with Miss Danielle for my very last Green Team meeting and their second Green Team meeting of the year. Miss Danielle, I always wanted to ask you this, but how do you come up with all these different crafts and things for the students to do?
I look a lot of stuff online, and I just try and be creative. And I'm like, if I see something on Pinterest or on Google, I Google stuff all the time, and I'm always like, oh, I can do that. So I was like, yeah, okay.
Great. And what are you making your Christmas tree out of?
A newspaper.
Okay, newspaper, magazine, or paper in general. It's just another way to recycle instead of throwing it away and kind of crowding up our environment. So can you show us how you do it?
Well, first you take it, so you fold it like this, and then you fold it again, and then you fold the bottom part right there.
And now once you do all of those pages, what is it going to look like? Is it just going to fall over? Is it going to stand up?
It's going to probably stand up.
And we hear a lot now on the news, CNN and different outlets like that, that people all across the world are trying to eliminate plastic straws as a whole, as a general. And you mentioned today that somehow Clear Lake, and I think you said district-wide, no longer does straws at lunchtime. So tell us the background on that.
Yes, we've, for the past several years, have been trying to get rid of styrofoam and the plastic straws. And it's tough, I get it. I mean, schools are on a budget and everything. And we just kept pestering the right people, I guess. And finally they were like, we don't want to hear it anymore. We're just not ordering straws anymore. So the kids are still kind of getting used to it. And I'm just like, we never had straws when we were kids, you know. I'm like, open up your milk and just drink it. So, but yeah, district-wide we are straw-free. So we're very proud of that. We're very happy.
So Oxford Community Schools is officially, we've always been a green school, but now we're officially a green district as a whole, and I think probably one of the first schools to completely eliminate plastic straws.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, it's a step in the right direction. Yes.
Now tell us something else, because unfortunately I won't be here, but River Tuck, be on the lookout for him. He will be here attending the recent meeting, or the next few meetings, the future meetings. So give us a prelude into what to expect.
Like I said before, I mean, each meeting we try and do something different. So next month we usually make some sort of bird feeder, whether it's with pine cones, and we can't do peanut butter here. Like a lot of people use peanut butter at home, but we'll use like Crisco and bird seed. We've done the pine cones or bagels or something before, so we'll be doing that just to teach the kids about keeping the animals in the winter fed and everything. But we'll be doing alternative energy and the Great Lakes, and probably hopefully get a couple speakers in and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we've had speakers in the past. We've brought in like the bat people and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we try and get at least one speaker throughout the year, and maybe a field trip somewhere or something. So yeah, keep it interesting, exciting.
And I'm so upset. I meant to grab my card over there, but that will be in my clothes, so don't go anywhere yet. But thank you and the rest of the green team for giving me my card and giving me a completely green Christmas tree. So thank you very much, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. And I know you guys are going to succeed because you're already strawless.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good luck in everything that you do as well. Bye.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
That about does it for Green Team this time. And my very last segment here at OCTV, again, I would like to thank everyone, all of the schools, the administration, and of course the students for allowing me in their schools and allowing me to be a part of everything that they have going on, especially where I am today, Clear Lake Elementary School, Miss Danielle and her Green Team class. So much so that they gave me a card, and I'm going to read it in my final stand-up here at OCTV. So bear with me. It says, thank you. And it's a bunch of signatures from all the people, all the students here at Clear Lake Elementary School and their Green Team. It also says, thank you for taking the time to come and meet us over the past couple years. The kids love seeing themselves on TV, absolutely, as everyone does. I will miss you, Danielle. So thank you, Danielle. She's actually standing right here beside me. So thank you, Clear Lake and Oxford as a whole. Till next time, guys, I'm Alexis Wares.
So that was the Green Team over at Clear Lake, and they're off to a great start this year.
Phenomenal start.
And I personally am really looking forward to covering those meetings in the future. Miss Danielle is a phenomenal person, and she's doing a great job getting those kids inspired and raising awareness. And she actually also told us that because of some good persistence, she managed to lead the Oxford community to being completely straw-free.
So there you go. If anyone didn't know, now you know that the Oxford School District as a whole, not just Clear Lake Elementary School, are completely plastic, straw, and any straw,
Yeah.
straw-free.
Yeah.
So when your kids are eating lunch, they're eating it without straws, milk, juice, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
And then we're going to head into our next story, which is going to be a little bit of a story time at the Addison Township Public Library. There they were doing a Thanksgiving-themed story time, and they also had some crafts right after too, making some craft turkeys, and it was great.
I'm here on Rochester and Lakeville Road at the Addison Township Public Library. Today is one of their mini storytime events. Inside is Jama and James Bodega, the president. We're gonna head inside and see what popular story they're reading today.
So I have this turkey here. We're gonna put him on display, but you know what? He doesn't have enough tail feathers. And we found some real tail feathers. These are real turkey feathers. So he'll look a lot more fancy if we put the turkey feathers in. You want to help me put some turkey feathers in? Put one in, back here. And these are going to support the turkey feathers. Back farther. Back there. Go put the turkey feathers. Okay, Logan. There you go. Lyndon, do you want to go put it in? Come on, Lyndon, put it down over here. Okay, we got to go put it in the turkey. There we go. That would be a good idea. Yay for you. Put the turkey feathers on. I guess not. Okay. Again. You did it again? Yeah. You did. To our turkey. And because it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to read a book about thanks. Because that's a time that we celebrate thanks. And it's called Apple Cake. Apple Cake. And this, it's a little girl. She's going to give thanks. She's going to give thank you hedge, thank you tree. Thank you, flower. Thank you, bee. Our little library didn't do well to keep the grass growing. Thank you for the food we eat. What did you eat for breakfast? What a big pile, said Minka. Let's jump in. Mouse leaped and jumped. Let's see a leap. No, that's a leap. Let's do a jump. Can you jump? There you go. Can you jump? Birds can jump. Pepper. Okay, let's put them in here. And a big orange. Okay, let's just put it in. Let's put it in right here. Oh, the pepper. Here's your leaves. Okay, yep, can you do that? Oh.
That was us at Addison Township Library with their librarians and a few other people for one of their mini story times. This is a weekly thing every Tuesday, and everyone's invited, not just the Addison community. So if you're ever at home waiting for students to get out, or actually during the break coming up pretty soon, that's a wonderful thing to do, especially to keep up with reading in the new Michigan law, Read by Grade 3, which you've also done as well. So that's coming up, as well as our next story and another story from Addison Library as well.
So coming up in the next Schooling Around episode, a little something to look forward to. I spoke with the Addison Township Public Library officials over there, and they gave me a little bit of an update on just how well the new Addison Public Library is going. They're going to be building a new library, and it is well underway. So look forward to that update next.
Knocking down trees.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah, hidden pay dirt.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go into our next story, which is the Oxford Middle School blue versus gold basketball game, and it was a fierce one this year. We had a great time out there watching that and speaking with the parents, so take a look. All right, so what have you seen so far in the game?
I've seen a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of missed shots.
Yeah, it's been an interesting game so far. How many of these games have you come out and see over the years?
Oh, I've been coming out here for quite a long time. I got five daughters, so this is the third one in basketball. So the other two are littler, and they're 9, and so I'll be out here for another probably 10 more years, I guess.
So my question is, watching this, is this an important game, an important milestone in the season?
Well, for my daughter, she doesn't like losing, so she hasn't beat this team in 2 seasons.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so she really wanted to win, but it's not happening today. I don't look like.
Okay, well, thank you so much for speaking with me.
Thanks. Have a good one.
So, how many of these games have you come out and seen over the years?
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even count. Hundreds probably between middle school and high school. Yes.
So, anything stand out so far about this game?
Actually, I was just talking about it. Back in the old days, the girls seemed a little slower. Maybe they didn't know. These girls know what they're doing already in middle school. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, just from watching it so far, there's a little aggression on the court, right?
Yep, they know what they're doing. They know the game of ball, so it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's important, especially these are 8th graders, right?
Yes, absolutely, and they'll be up in high school next year, and it's looking good. Future, looking good.
So yeah, what does this say about the future for the teams? Kind of seeing the candidates for varsity on the high school team?
It looks good for the future. These girls already know how to play the game, how to defend, how to shoot. Rachel's going to have some great players in her future. I'm excited.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking with me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
River Tuck and Alexis Wares here at the scene of the Oxford Blue versus Gold basketball game, and it has been a hot one so far. Alexis, any takes?
You know what? These middle schoolers are already ready for the high school level. They're really good, especially the blue team. They're kicking the white team's butt right now.
Yeah, we've been watching and speaking with some of the parents, and so far it is a resounding yes for these students going forward. A lot of big hopes in the stands for the students going forward. So what do you think so far about this game in particular? What stands out about it compared to any of the other years that you've seen or any of the years you've heard about?
Well, first things first, I would like to say that I actually saw the varsity coach for the high school here watching the girls today. So, I mean, she's scoping out some talent for the next few years to come. So, girls, play your butts off, coming forward, get better, practice. You can never practice enough. But specifically for today, it's free throw behind me, that's why I got a little quiet. But specifically for today, I just think that the girls are really working hard. They're trying to put on a good show for everyone, and they're not even focused about us right now, which is always a good sign. No distractions on the court.
Yeah, definitely. So far, they've been putting it all out there. And in a game against your own teammates, I guess the walls come down. You really want to show them who's best. So there it is, the blue versus gold basketball game, and it was a aggressive one. I mean, those girls were practically killers out there on the court, very focused, the game to them was extremely important. I talked to some of the parents, as you saw, and they said that that game was extremely high stakes, more high stakes than any of the other games in the season.
It was, and again, adding to what the parents said, they emphasized that the students, the girls, really knew what they were doing, and it showed on the court. Yeah. One thing that always amazes me, just blows my mind, is that although I feel like the community is used to us by now, when students, they see us at their games, especially really competitive games like basketball and other sports like that, and we're on the court and we're, interviewing their parents and their friends, they don't flinch at all. No. Like, they know we're there, they're conscious, they're aware, but their focus is on the game, it's on the sport, which is great. It's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly, and like I said, it's an extremely important game for them, so it's completely different from the rest of the season.
Absolutely. And one more thing, too, I would like to mention is that this is a middle school team, both middle school teams, and they're playing at a high school level too, or they're playing at the high school, which probably makes that a little bit more intimidating.
At the high school, playing at a high school level, though, I've seen a lot of basketball, and those girls were definitely playing at a high school level, maybe even higher than that.
Not to mention the basketball, the girls' head coach for the basketball team. I'm completely messing this up. She was there watching the girls as well, so you could really tell that she was focusing, paying attention to the girls, and seeing what she could, add on to and what they already had. So it's definitely some things to look forward to. These are all 8th grade students.
Yeah.
So, But that does it. That concludes the last episode of 114 and my very last episode here at all. It's a bittersweet moment, but you guys are gaining a great host in place of me. So, but yeah, I'm gonna sign off before I get too emotional or too sentimental here. Until next time, or maybe not, I'm Alexis Wares.
And I'm River Tuck.